Good day to you peeps, Liesl here once more, and today I'm coming to us with our very latest bonus build, end of the year bonus, which hopefully will be our Diddley bass bow, whichever you prefer, so straight in anyway. Yeah, last time we did discuss the materials we were going to use, stuff that we had hanging around, which was basically this neck, as we did discover last week. Was originally going to go on the upright base, but then we had a better offer from the parking lot fairies. So basically this was still knocking around, and this is the neck we're going to use, which is a piece of dowel. It is 1 1/8 of an inch in diameter, so that's about 28 millimeters roughly at a guess. Yeah, so that will form the neck of this instrument. Also, as donated to the channel, our Comfortably Numb limited edition cabinet style cigar box. Yeah, and I am thinking of subtitling this video, the dimensions of a Diddley bow, for reasons that I will explain now. Now, as you've seen, we had our upright base, which I featured on the last video, which is propped over here, I think a little bit out of shot. We're in the sound lab today, and the opposite end from the Groove Lounge. And earlier on in the year though, or was it even the last part of last year, I can't remember, but we did create this 2-string bass, which you will remember famously. We went part way anyway into like ripping off the headstock from a Ricky. I'm sure Mr. Rickenbacker doesn't mind, you know, it's not that similar, and well, there it is, okay, I just wanted one, okay. Which is humongous. I remember throughout this build, this completely changed, because the neck I'd had knocking around for years and years. I got on a whim to build the neck, and then didn't think I was going to attach it, do excuse me, to the body of the instrument. Hence we had all kinds of like issues with this one, but eventually I did secure the neck using, is it joists? Basically the brackets that hold together roof beams, that hold up your roof. So there's hefty great metal brackets in here, which do weigh quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, that neck has never shifted. If you look in here, I really wish I could show you really, you can see them. But yeah, at least as a result, this one doesn't nosedive. It's a 33 scale. Yeah, a real beauty actually. I will restring this one soon, but I've got the strings off this one at the moment because again, I want to work a little bit more on the neck on this. I did make it ever so thick, and that's solid oak on the top. So that's quite heavy. Gives a nice deep reverby sound, if that's a correct word. And I love it, I must admit. So there'll be more on this one as we do feature things throughout the rest of this season. Absolutely. So there it is. And that's what I would call a 2-string bass. Now, this is going to be a Diddley bass. If I can just prop that there. There is a difference. There we go. And it's to do with the action. And the best way, do excuse me, that I can demonstrate that basically is with one of my favourite instruments that I built many years ago. So long ago, in fact, I can't really remember how she came together. But she is kind of the inspiration for this latest build. So yes, I will explain. Here we have Kiara. You may have seen her back in the day, if you've been around for a while. Which is made from a cabinet box. And as you can see, it's very random, with lots of bits. As I did explain, she used to have a piezo with basically a volume knob on the top, working inside, but that long ceased to work. Yeah, and because I've nailed the lid shut, I thought I'm not going to attempt to reopen this box. Yeah, she was something of an experimental instrument really. You can see there are all kind of like resonator holes, sound holes. That's an external piezo that are basically marketed to stick on a violin or a classical instrument. And I'm no violinist, but if I were, I think I'd be reluctant to put any sticky things like that onto a nice violin. If you do play violin, let me tell you, I've stuck these to Diddley bows and they do not come off without making a sticky mess. So do not totally trust what the manufacturer might say, in my opinion, okay? And my experience. But what I love about this one, she really is one of my favourite instruments, is just the sound. And I wondered if, like, the fact that we used a small cabinet box made any difference really. Probably not, but there you go. She's happy anyway. But I've always been curious. So yeah, you can see that the actual pole for the neck is actually mounted quite low down on the body, on the box. So it gives quite an angle on the string. In other words, really you're only playing this with a slide. And you hear that little pop at the end. That's what I love about her. She makes real whooping sound. Kiara. Yeah, if we plug her in actually, because like, I don't know how loud that was. It's a little Rolly who's down here. I've got him turned down on more or less everything really. Yeah, just JC clear, it says on the top. All the chorus is off and a tiny bit of reverb. Yeah, a little bit of gain and quite a bit of tone. So let's see what we got. Maybe a bit more gain. I wax silly, but never mind. Forgive my self-indulgence, but I do love this instrument and I think you can see why. Yeah, so there she is. And the whole point of my ramble really was I was very curious to see how that would sound with a bass instrument, because I've not played any kind of bass instrument with a slide. And to be honest, I've heard one or two bass diddley bows played with a slide by very good diddley bow players, may I say. And they do sound quite awesome. Yeah, so basically that's what we're going to have with this. I didn't want to get too carried away. It's going to have quite high action on it, just like a diddley bow. And I thought I might give it quite a steep angle, like on Kiara, just basically to see what we get. Now, I don't know an awful lot about the scale lengths on a bass. I know they vary between about 29 and about 33. I do believe. If you know better, put it in the comments, or your bass heads. But yeah, we'll get that out of this anyway, quite easily. I've measured the box and everything, so probably going to aim for somewhere between those two, 29 and 33, and just see what we get really, because I haven't got a clue what I'm doing with this. Now, aesthetics are important, I do think. You see, the most sensible thing would be to have this as the front. That way you can open the back, mess about, do what you like. But no, I don't want to do that, because I love this bit on the front, and where you've got this little groove here, you know, this little bit of detailing. So I'm actually going to have it this way around. And yeah, to accommodate that fact, we've got one or two bits and pieces, trinkets, as you know I call them, that I managed to sort of scramble together from out of the giddy box of bits and parts. And I think this is what we're going to go with. So, bass, machine head, most important. As you'll notice, being as this is quite a broad piece of dowel, I've got an actual, and other brands are available, but this is a genuine and original Jubilee clip, which has a butterfly key to tighten it, which is rather nice. It's basically the only ones I had to fit. I found a couple of them right in the back of the drawer, which was handy because it's quite large. So that's going to go on there to make the nut, basically. It's got quite high action. I thought actually for the saddle we might use, it's another part of that hinge assembly that came off some old cupboard, and yeah, but I think that would be just the right size to kind of accommodate a bass string. So anyway, that's the experiment. We're going to probably use this to anchor the string, yeah, and that'll give us plenty of play on the neck. Yeah, so there it is. So that'll be mounted onto the body of the instrument somehow. We have another donation, which was from Bob McGowan at Not the Chair Circle, and he donated this ages ago. It's like a sound hole from a dobro setup, and I thought, to be honest, it'd be nice to have that in the side or in the top. So you've got this big Larry sound hole. It'll go that way. It'll go that way, Liesl. Yeah, very much like Kiara, as you can see with her random resonators, etc. The one unique thing about Kiara is she's got 2 springs inside her. She's the only Diddley Bow that I've ever given 2 springs. I don't know why I did, I just did. Probably to see how much sound we could get out of this tiny instrument. But she does make quite a beautiful sound, as I'm sure you'll agree, and she certainly is a heck of a lot of fun. So there you go. One other thing really, a new member of of our team. We now have a percussionist. Yeah, this is Chet. Here's a metronome. Yeah, highly sophisticated stuff. Now I think I've only just bought this, and if you're not familiar, basically it's something that keeps time. What I love about Chet is he is actually good old-fashioned clockwork. So you literally wind him up with a windy key. Don't overwind. Cause a lot of stress that way. And yes, basically to set the time, you set this. You move it up and down for faster or slower. I will demonstrate if anyone wants to, but not in this video because they're ever so fiddly, these things. But then if we just set him off, you can keep time. Should we have a go? I've not actually used him yet. I'm looking around for him. This one here, do excuse me. a bit faster. Another one of my favourites, Mr. Swish, who, yeah, is a very vintage Swisher Sweets cardboard box, which I did line with thin wood. And again, this cabinet box that we have here, okay, check, thanks mate, is the same. There's a certain amount of cardboard material, or very hard, what I would call chipboard, right here in the UK anyway. And then some nice thin layers of wood, which we have found, I'm sure, in previous sensational sound experiments, does actually make quite a nice deep tone in itself. So again, I'm thinking this is hopefully a very good choice. Yes, and it will be going on the bench very soon. So I am going to go and set up the bench now. I'm going to have a cup of tea first. Yeah, and then go and set up the bench. So we'll have this one on, yeah, basically later this morning, or this afternoon, and quite possibly later today, but if not tomorrow, we'll have the first tutorial, if you like, or live action video of building our first bass boat. So there you go, peeps, and there it is. And as always, wherever you are, do stay safe. Whatever you're doing, do stay blessed. And whatever life brings, keep building. Okay then, peeps. Bye for now then. Bye.